Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd, that guy. So, tonight we're
Hello,
going
everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd
to
Show. As always,
wah, 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 echo. All right, there's that delay. So, anyway, tonight we're going to talk about futurism. I'm going to show you some technologies that, man, are they going to be convenient? So let's see if you can pay attention and you can connect the dots as I go through a list of okay. I'll have to get into the okay. My phone's been blown up. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about futurism and I'm going to show you some videos. We're going to walk through some stuff. We're going to listen to some stuff. So pay attention to the words because the words matter. Remember? Because I'm always searching for the truth. And, I've always said that the children born in 2020, they're going to be all digital children. They're not going to completely comprehend how I grew up making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with, ham and cheese and mustard mayonnaise all together, just a big mashup. Yeah. You know, they're not going to experience any of that. They're going to have 3D printers. They're not going to know how to drive. They're not going to learn with a standard with 3 on a tree. I know they just went, what the hell did he just say? A standard, a stick shift that was actually on the steering column, which you rarely even see now. Yeah, back in the old days, we used to have crank telephones and the dinosaurs were out back. No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, I'm going to show you some technologies that are quite astounding, to say the least. You're going to see some glasses that'll translate like that for you. So, there's some really interesting stuff, but there's also some traps. And we're going to see if you can point those out because I have a pretty intelligent audience. So, let me just show you what I found. You can come on this journey with me, and I'm going to show you some other videos, some stuff that I've done. Do I want to get known first? I'll tell you what. Let's get Iran out of the way. All right. Some of you remember, if you watch my show, oh God, it's going on 2, maybe 3 years. I think in February next month, maybe. I don't know. We'll go look at the date. There's a lot of unrest over in Iran, right? So the people, they want to take their country over and get rid of this religious, whatever you want to call it. They don't want a society based on religion. They want a society based on freedom. And they're out in the streets asking for it, taking it back. Whew. I tell you what, those are some proud people. I've got to tip my hat to them, give them their kudos, because I wish Americans had such balls to get out in the streets like that en masse, regardless of political party, regardless of gender identity, regardless of religious beliefs. Just so we could all harmonize and go, you know what? Our government sucks. All of them. Our judicial system sucks. Our insurance system sucks. Everything just sucks. This whole society sucks. Our education system sucks. We need to just like recreate a new society. But it's just me. I'm the only one. So Iran, did you know that they have 2,200 kilometers of deep underground military bases? Did you know that? You probably didn't. And let me go over here and grab it for you guys. And of course, Fearless Floyd show and gets a whopping 242 views. February 24th, 2023. So it will be officially 3 years old in about 45 days. You can see how people really actually pay attention to what's going on in the world. Let me get my happy ass out the way because I know you didn't come to see me. You came to find the truth. So let's go find it. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Bam. Iran establishes 2,200 kilometers of strategic underground cities. IRGC. These strategic cities retain warships able to deploy drones, ocean-going helicopter carriers, missile launching capabilities, and several other military innovations from the IRGC by the news desk, February 24th, 2023. These people put it in the public. Yes, this is a deep underground military base, a D-U-M-B, in Iran. Iran's announcing it publicly. So guess what? If Iran has them, you better bet your sweet bippy, as they used to say. The United States has tons of them. No pun intended. Ali Reza Tangsiri, top commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, disclosed on February 24th that the Islamic Republic has already created 2,200 kilometers. That's 2,200 kilometers. That's a a kilometer is 2.2 miles, kids. Wow. These strategic sites retain warships ready to deploy drones, ocean-going helicopter carriers, missile launching capabilities, and several other military innovations from the IRGC. Tangsiri added that these military sites are connected to incoming and outgoing waterways and pass through islands near Iran's shores. Local reports indicate that merchants and oil tankers pass through these waters on a daily basis. The IRGC's Navy commander recently announced that Tehran has planned 9 naval training operations in its southern waters and has added 650 new vessels to its Navy, with speeds ranging from 55 to 110 knots. Oh my God, that's like smoking. Tangsiri added that the maximum speed of these vessels surpasses 3 times the amount of the standard U.S. vessel, which travels at a maximum speed of 35 knots. I mean, they're literally claiming they're going to do circles around the U.S. Navy. He further disclosed that the vessels retain combat systems that are able to hide them from enemy radars and contains missiles that are manufactured locally. Iran's military capabilities have vastly improved in the past few years, as Tehran is known for its IRGC-made Shahed 136 suicide drones, as well as for vessels from its elite naval force in the Persian Gulf. Last week, BBC Persian reported that an Israeli-linked oil tanker was attacked by an Iranian Shahed drone a week prior. Senior Israeli security officials confirmed the report and suggested that the Iranian attack was an attempt at revenge for attacks attributed to Israel against Iran. Sorry, let me there you go. I've been talking all day. Iran has accused Israel of attacking a number of sensitive military and nuclear sites in the past few years. No casualties were reported, and the damage to the tanker was allegedly not significant. However, on Valentine's Day, February 14th, Iranian state media reported that Iran had killed 2 Israeli officers in retaliation for a January 29th sabotage attack in Isfahan. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, did you know that? So, who's going to take over those all that military hardware? And the suicide drones. That's a good question, huh? You didn't hear about that in the media, didn't you? When Trump went over there and bombed Iran, you didn't hear anything about no deep underground military bases, did you? You did over here. Should have went, oh yeah, Floyd, I knew all about that. Thank you. Thanks to you. But you didn't. So anyway, now you know. Big question over in Iran. What do they got in their deep underground military bases? Right? And oh yeah, YouTube yanked this video. Let me go show you guys this. And you know, I brought this up on my show with Steven the other night. And you know, according to him, he believes that this is the proof of the SES2KV trust. This is where, you know, again, 716 videos or views. And this is from May 15th, 2024. But basically in this video, get to it. Through the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, their former subsidiary, gmeiutility.org. And if you notice this number right here, this is my state of Texas certificate of live birth number. There's my name, Floyd Pleasant Harvin IV. So there's the number. We back it up a little bit. Here's the GMEI. There's the number right there, put in there. Same number, it's just there's the last number's hyphenated. And as you'll see, you can click on this link right here where it says country, and it, you know, you click on it several times, it'll alphabetize the country. So that's what I did. So the purest A would pop up first, and it was Afghanistan every time. So, you know, Afghanistan. What's Afghanistan got to do with this number? So anyway, Kabul, it's the Islamic Bank of Afghanistan, and the next is the Malwan Bank in, again, Kabul, Afghanistan. So as you move it forward, there's my my birth certificate right there. We've already covered that. And then you go down and you see these records. And there's 307,623 under that file number. And then you go down to the next one. And I can't show that, but that's my social. It's on there. And then, whoops, I can't show that because that's not my social. It is my social. But anyway, it's my social with the last number hyphenated like the former one. And as you see, 307,623 accounts. And we move on. And again, showing you Islamic Bank of Afghanistan, Kabul, Malwan Bank, right? Moving on. Oh, who's that cat? Damn, that dude looks old. Anyway, that's my state issued ID. See that number? All right, let's go find it. Whoops. Back that ass up, Floyd. Whoops. There's your 307, 623. Well, there's the number we're not supposed to see. Anyway. Change it. Boom. There's a birth certificate number. Must be right. That's got to be it. Nope. There it is. That's it. 11236-5-9. What are the two top banks right here? Islamic Bank of Afghanistan and Mawlan Bank. And then when you bump it up, it'll have the same 307-623. Ding, 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 ding. Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV, you are a winner. You have found 307,623 legal entity identifiers connected to 3 different government-issued IDs. Yeah, I don't know. Is that the SSVKV Trust? I don't know. I don't know anybody else who's ever done that, and you cannot now access the GMEIutility.org website. Oh, I wonder, could you think it could have been like Fidelity when you used to could go find all your CUSIP numbers associated to? Do you think somebody made a video and connected the dots and they went, oh, nah. What y'all listen to this one? No, this is fair use. Information purposes only. I want y'all to listen to the words. Actually, let me turn on the closed caption because I want y'all to see the words. Let me blow that shit up. Options. Make sure y'all see it.
The most common is extrusion-based printing, where food paste is squeezed out through nozzles and shaped into complex structures. There's also inkjet printing for adding colors or flavors, and even laser cooking, which can cook parts of the food as it's being printed. Yes, that means you could theoretically cook your lasagna with a laser. Some printers can combine multiple ingredients during the process, so instead of mixing things in a pan, you load up cartridges, sort of like the food equivalent of printer ink, and let the machine do the rest. This method opens the door for precise control over nutrition. Imagine designing a meal to suit someone with diabetes or iron deficiency, with just the right blend of ingredients. Researchers at NASA have explored 3D food printing for astronauts, creating meals that last over 30 years in space without losing nutritional value. Meanwhile, companies like Novameat in Spain are printing realistic plant-based steaks using beet juice and pea protein. And UWE Bristol is making pureed meals for people with swallowing disorders that look just like their solid food counterparts. Clearly, the tech is maturing fast. But what does this mean for the bigger picture? To understand the potential impact of this technology, we need to look at the problem it's trying to solve. As of 2025, an estimated 343 million people across 74 countries are experiencing acute food insecurity. In sub-Saharan Africa, 1 in 5 people go to bed hungry. Globally, that number is around 1 in 11. And according to the UN, food aid is falling short. Only 46% of the needed $49.6 billion in funding was covered in 2024. Hunger has not improved much over the past decade. Despite economic growth and agricultural advances, wars, climate change, and inflation have kept food out of reach for millions. The Global Hunger Index, which tracks hunger trends, shows only a modest improvement from 18.8 in 2016 to 18.3 in 2024, which still indicates a moderate hunger crisis. So, with traditional methods struggling to keep up, it begs the question, could 3D printed food be part of the solution? Let's break this down. On the optimistic side, 3D printed food can be customized to meet nutritional needs. That's a big deal in hunger-stricken areas where malnutrition is just as dangerous as calorie shortages. By adjusting the ingredients, printers can produce iron-rich meals for anemic populations or protein-enhanced dishes for children with stunted growth. They can also use alternative proteins, like insect flour or algae, which are sustainable and easy to grow. Normally, people might reject eating bugs or seaweed, but with 3D printing, you can shape them into familiar foods like nuggets or pasta, making them more acceptable. There's also potential to reduce food waste. Peels, scraps, and byproducts that would normally be thrown away can be ground down into paste and reused. That's good for the environment and for food supply. And in terms of scalability, companies are already exploring industrial-scale printing. Nova Meat, for instance, can produce up to 500 kilograms of plant-based meat per hour using its latest machines. Despite all the promise, this isn't a magic bullet. First, infrastructure is a big hurdle. You need stable electricity, internet for updates, access to food cartridges, and trained staff. In many hunger zones, those resources just aren't available yet. Then there's cost. These machines aren't cheap, and neither are the customized ingredients, especially for widespread emergency use. Also, printing food is slow. Most printers take several minutes to make just one dish, so we're still far from mass production speeds. And finally, cultural factors play a role. Some communities may be hesitant to trust lab-grown or machine-made food, even if it's perfectly safe and nutritious. So while 3D food printing has massive potential, it must be part of a broader strategy that includes traditional agriculture, local food programs, and policy reform. To sum it all up, 3D printed food is a fascinating new tool in our arsenal against hunger. It can tailor meals to specific nutritional needs, reuse waste, and introduce sustainable ingredients in an appealing form. It could make a huge difference in hospitals, disaster zones, and even space missions. But is it the solution to world hunger? Not quite. Not yet. It's more like a powerful sidekick that needs help from the rest of the team. Investment, logistics, education, and cultural understanding. If we combine this innovation with smart policy and community support, then yes, it could be a major player in solving one of humanity's oldest problems. Thanks for watching. If this video sparked your curiosity, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to Tech Now Explained for more future-facing tech stories, and let us know in the comments.
Make it more appealing. Let me come right back. I get frozen every time I do that. All right, sorry about that. So there you go, 3D food printing. They make it just sound like, oh man, the world should have that. But let me explain it to you like this. Once it becomes perfected, because once upon a time, way back in the days of the dinosaurs and crank telephones, if you wanted to cook something, you had to make a fire. Well, that progressed because, boom, they managed to contain gas or get it to your house. So we had gas stoves or propane stoves that operated by tanks of propane. That was great. Then they came out with electric burning stoves, and that was awesome too. So now we had electric stoves, gas stoves, and we had ranges. So we had a gas oven or an electric oven, right? Well, somewhere around in the 70s, and we all heard about them, but they were too expensive to buy. These things called microwave ovens that could cook your food like that. Like, whoa. You could have a TV dinner in like 5 minutes. Housewives across the country are like, what? I can pop this in a box, and then 30 minutes later, we're done. Table's clean. Everybody's fed. We're watching TV or in the sack or doing some bong. No. Right? And, if you wanted one, you had to go buy one and you put it on your countertop. Now, today, 2026, they're standard. Microwaves And some vehicles are favored, selected, and sold over an oven. Yeah, they don't know. Like if you get an RV, they don't even have an oven in them anymore. They just got this convection oven, this microwave convection oven. And you really don't have a choice. Now they come standard in your apartments. They come standard in your homes, right? It's a standard appliance, a microwave, which I have not used mine in 3 years. It's unplugged. I don't use it for anything. Nothing. Stop that. So just imagine, okay? Because you don't have to have a housewife. You just have somebody just doesn't know how to cook, or they're too lazy, or they don't have enough time. But they really would like that nutritious meal. Like, okay, hey, I need to lose weight, or I need to put on some muscle because I'm working out real hard, or I'm running marathons, so I need a high caloric diet. Do you see how the convenience of this seamlessly rolls into it to be accepted by everybody across the world? This is futurism. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to go down this list, folks, and I'm going to show you all the nice little, sweet, little convenient things, whoop-de-doo gadgets that are the baby steps that we're slowly getting there. We didn't just go like somebody pull a switch and go, okay, there they go. Nope. This is a death by 1,000 cuts. All right, so we got the 3D printed food, right? World hunger, got that one out of the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, we're just going to roll. This is one. Tell you what, I've got 5 videos total. One is, first one's 5 minutes. Second one's minute 20. Third one's 28 minutes. And we'll watch the majority of that one. Then the next one is 17 minutes. We're just going to watch a little bit of that one, but that one should wake you up about the future. And then we'll get back into a little bit more international policy. And that one is 4:53, 5 minutes. And then the next one is a minute 36. So to close it all out. So let's see. Yeah, I covered that one. Let me 86 that one. Well, no, it's there. Oh yeah, let me go cover this before I get into that. While we're still on food printing, probably a good segue. All right, so the USDA just changed the food pyramid, and they turned it upside down. So now the requirements of your basic daily nutrition have changed. The new pyramid is a simple guide designed to help Americans eat real, whole foods more consistently. It prioritizes nutrient-dense foods and reduces reliance on highly processed products, using modern nutrition science to support everyday health. So, most of you guys don't know that once upon a time, y'all want to confirm I'm human? Chair. That's a chair, right? Probably costs more than the chair. Incorrect. What did I miss? Chair. Beds. There we go. Yes, read those. Y'all know who that guy is, right? And he's obviously not a robot. If you don't know where Travis County is, that would be Austin, Texas. So as you see right here, Tarbin, Floyd. This is probate court. And you see, I'm a little busy beaver, huh? But anyway, I was over here looking for a case because at one time I sued the, which case was that? This one. This one, I think. No, that's against the Board of Criminal Justice. Floyd sued the board. No, that's sued Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. This one? Nope. No. No. Sorry about that. Board concerning equality. No. Why would I sue for equality? Nobody should be equal. Well, that's when I sued the, you say I retained? Y'all thought I was bullshitting when I told you that whenever I sued Texas, they went and hired a gun to litigate against me. They didn't use the Texas Attorney General's office. Don't ask me why. They went and hired somebody, which is odd. God dang it. Must already passed it. No. There's the former DA of Galveston. He got voted out. Yeah, I sued all these people too. Damn it. I must have passed it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Yep. Judicial review. No. You wonder why they freaking hate my guts in Texas. I'll make them work. All right, man. It's got to be this one. TBCJ. Yeah, this is it right here. I'm suing the American Correctional Association right here. They retain their counsel, right? And then here's the medical doctor. I think that's our assistant warden, but I forget who he is. Jane and John Doe's on the accreditation task force that accredits the individual prison units. I forget who, Kehoe, I think he's over the ACA. He was a president or something. Coshdale, that was our unit provider on the WIN unit. You see, they retained counsel. They went hired some guns, litigated against me. Cheryl Lawson, Lynette Lithicum, she's over medical, I forget the actual name of it, but basically the medical health. These are all people off my unit. That's the warden, assistant warden, another assistant warden, forget what she was, sued the whole board, executive director, regional director. Yeah. But this one was remember I told y'all I filed a bunch of RICOs, right? Did I not? So plaintiffs first amended original service title 18 USC 1961 et sequetra Civil RICO Act and title 42 USC section 1983 Civil Rights Complaint concerning intrastate transportation in aid of racketeering activity pursuant to Title 18 USC Section 1952, conspiracy to commit fraud or fraud pursuant to Title 18 USC Section 1341, conspiracy to commit fraud by wire or fraud by wire pursuant to Title 18 USC Section 1943, deprivation of life and cruel and unusual punishment treatment by defendants, basically accreditation of the units. And part of the mandatory language in this, in the ACA, the American Correctional Association's manual to accredit a unit, saying it meets these specific standards to be accredited, and they get more federal money. It's a big feather in their cap to have accredited unit. And almost every unit in TDCJ, which they had 100 plus at the time, was accredited by the ACA. So what I did is start documenting all the food servings based on, at the time, it was the food guide pyramid. And then they changed it to my plate while this was pending. So I had to go back and amend everything to fit the my plate, but I had all the information. So as you see, this is that particular suit. And there's the next one. This is it. And I believe I non-suited this. Yeah, there it is. Dismissal for non-suit. So I didn't get beat or anything like that. What I chose to do was non-suit it because I had so much litigation, and I'm working for 100,000 other offenders who have no idea who I am. And I'm fading all the heat for these motherfuckers, trying to get them bigger cells. At the time I was trying to get them televisions. Not televisions, payphones, bigger cells, or single celled. So they didn't have 2 men per cell, air conditioning. Yeah. Or at least climate control, swamp cooler, something beside that nauseating Texas heat. Food service, better food, more of it, better nutritious food, actually really meaningful access to courts where we have the same access to the same materials, the same people that any attorney or prosecuting attorney or county attorney, district attorney would have access to through an intranet within the side of TDCJ by firewalls. And I had all this in my lawsuit. So I had all this going on. I was filing all of these civil RICOs, 1983, trying to get relief. If you want to go see those cases, go pull them up. Very interesting. So anyway, guess what? TDCJ, ACA, American Correctional Association, you guys are in a world of trouble now because you're not going to meet that standard because it's mandatory language. You meet the USDA recommended daily allowance for basic nutrition for an adult. And you haven't done it. You haven't been doing it. You guys lied. You falsified evidence to accredit every TDCJ unit when clearly, if you look at the master menu planning guide, everybody, just get it from food service, the food service division, the other division of TDCJ. Remember, they just transfer the property from one division to another, parole division, correctional institution division, state jail division. So yeah, If you have an incarcerated individual, yep, there you go. And they're complaining about the food, there you go. But one of these days they might just have 3D food printers and they might be feeding you insects. Because you won't know the difference. It'll look like pasta. It'll be like cute shapes and, look, babies. I'm kidding. Some of those perverts would be thinking like that, though. All right, so we went through that. Let's get over here. Let's look at a little technology now that God heard a little stupid ass Floyd stories. All right, we got closed caption on. All right, I'm gonna turn it off for this one because I just want y'all to watch. But you got to listen. Actually, let me turn it on, but I just don't want big ones. All right, you're killing me. You want to do 100? Yeah, there we go. That looks good. All right.
Whoever watched a show and thought, wow, that dish they're eating looks amazing. Show me a pan-seared branzino recipe.
Preparing a response. Looks like you've been working out lately. You might like this protein-rich branzino recipe that supports recovery and preserves key nutrients, aligning with your pescatarian lifestyle.
Send this recipe to the kitchen.
Protein-rich branzino recipe has been sent in the moving style.
I'm here to watch the sunset. 104 each individual 100 days. That's everything.
This is the year where Samsung has been the #1 TV brand for 20 years in a row. And the reason for that is that we always bring the latest innovation that is meaningful to consumers. And this year, it's very much about AI.
Attorney General Paxton sues 5 major TV companies, including some with ties to the CCP, for spying on Texans. Attorney General Ken Paxton filed suit against 5 major television companies for spying on Texans by secretly recording what consumers watch in their own homes. Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed suit against 5 major television companies, blah, blah, blah. The 5 major corporations being sued are as follows: Sony, Samsung, LG, as well as Hisense and TCL Technology Group Corporation, which are both based in China. These Chinese ties pose serious concerns about consumer data harvesting and are exacerbated by China's national security law, which gives its government the capability to get its hands on U.S. consumer data. These companies have been unlawfully collecting personal data through automated content recognition, ACR technology. ACR, in its simplest terms, is an uninvited, invisible digital invader. This software can capture screenshots of a user's television display every 500 milliseconds, monitor viewing activity in real time, and transmit that information back to the company without the user's knowledge or consent. The companies then sell that consumer information to target ads across platforms for a profit. This technology puts users' privacy and sensitive information, such as passwords, bank information, and other personal information, at risk. Companies, especially those connected to the Chinese Communist Party, have no business illegally recording Americans' devices inside their own homes, said Attorney General Paxton. This conduct is invasive, deceptive, and unlawful. The fundamental right to privacy will be protected in Texas because owning a television does not mean surrendering your personal information to big tech or foreign adversaries. Attorney General Paxton remains committed to holding corporations accountable for deceptive, abusive, and exploitive practices. The Office of the Texas Attorney General recognizes the ongoing threat posed by the Chinese Communist Party to the safety, data security, and personal privacy of Texans, and will continue to aggressively investigate and stop any company that puts consumers at risk. I've been telling you. Well, hang on. Let me refresh again. Thank you. And back. All right. I'm rocking and rolling. So there you go. That's what Ken Paxton's doing. So, has that ever happened before, Floyd? Let me explain this to you, folks, and I've covered this in multiple videos. It's in the television manufacturer's business plan to spy on you, to collect your data, to sell it for profit, and then get popped, and them having to settle out of court and pay a fine out of the profits they just made, which is like a freaking fraction of the profits that they just made selling your data. So did you see Ken Paxton reach out to the court and ask the judge for a restraining order or an injunction for a recall of all the television sets to take that out? Or how about all that other spying device in that television that you don't know about? It's in their business plan, folks. Now, okay, your Samsung television. I've got a Samsung television or two. I got a Samsung phone. What do you think these devices are doing with each other? They're constantly communicating because they're the same manufacturer. It's built into the programming. That's why I'm telling everybody, this is your digital DNA. You're looking at it and you're seeing how convenience is going to get everybody to accept this, and it's just going to seamlessly roll into everything, and everybody's going to go, oh shit, how the hell God dang it, it's too late to get out now. And they're going to be trapped in the matrix. They're not even going to know how they even got there, because it's just going to seem like life got them there, and they're going to get, whoa, that was wild. Yeah, there's going to be things that we tell children that they're just going to look at it and just wonder. Wonder. Yeah. Yeah, just imagine telling some kid, city kid that's never been out to the country, never been hunting, doesn't even know what hunting is. Yeah, we used to skip school and, you know, somebody had a gun in their gun rack in the back of the truck on school grounds. Yeah. We skip school, we drive out, you know, 30 minutes outside of town. First deer we saw, boom, knocked a hole in it, threw it in the trunk or the back of the truck, and went and feasted. What? Yeah, and I tell them, oh, yeah, we did that in Tomball. And they'd be like, Tomball? Where in Tomball? Because Tomball's a big city now. It's not this little country rural town anymore. But anyway, that's back to that. So let's get back to the movie. Let's get back to the good stuff, right? Let's go see what our future looks like. Because whether we want it or not, they're going to cram it down our throats.
So who is buying AI in 2026? Last year, we saw a lot of early adopters, but looking at the numbers right now, half of all of the products that we're selling at Samsung have AI-enabled features. We can see that over 2/3 of people who are buying products in Europe are interested in products that have AI, not the gimmicky stuff, but the stuff that either reduces the amount of energy, so you pay less. So for instance, our washing machines, when you put in a load, it checks how dirty it is, how full the load is, and it only uses the amount of time, detergent, and water that's actually needed, and it runs the wash automatically at nighttime when the energy cost is lower. The screen. What can we do? Samsung uses a system called SmartThings. So all the different Samsung products can speak to each other, which means that your phone becomes a remote control for your TV. When your washing machine is done, it sends a notification to your Samsung Watch. But we are an open ecosystem, so it's not only for Samsung products. There are 4,700 different products that can connect to our open system.
Just filming the whole room, so I was on that side of it. Because I didn't really think, and then I was just doing the whole thing with
Samsung could give Google a major boost in the AI race. The South Korean firm's co-CEO said Monday it plans to double the number of its mobile devices with Galaxy AI features this year, and it will largely be powered by Google's Gemini. Samsung already rolled out Gemini-backed AI features to about 400 million products by last year. It now plans to raise that figure to 800 million over the next 12 months. The company's co-CEO T.M. Rowe told Reuters previously Samsung will apply AI to all products and services as quickly as possible. Samsung is the world's largest supporter of Google's Android mobile platform. Its latest plan helps Google in its race with OpenAI and others to attract more consumers to their AI model. One leading researcher said Samsung will offer integrated AI services across consumer products to widen its lead over Apple in such features. Google launched the latest version of Gemini in November. It showed Gemini 3 led on several popular industry measures of AI model performance. Samsung shares ended up 7.5% on Monday. Investors bought in as it's thought the company is due to reveal a profit jump for the fourth quarter later this week.
Samsung and Google working together with AI Gemini to increase their subscriber base from 400 million to 800 million. What could go wrong? Imagine if you had 800 million nodes. It's a lot of computing power that's all connected. Is it not? as I've been trying to explain to folks, which I don't know, but not this video, but the next video, it'll put everything together seamlessly for you of what is actually going on. It'll connect the dots, and you'll see how all this is, where this is going. But this is not the beast. Okay, the beast is this whole system that this operates with. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, the device serial numbers, the ability of all the different corporations, governments, intelligence, third-party hacker snoopers who are in your device that you just don't even know about. There's no reason for them to alarm you that somebody's in your phone. So you just never know that they're there. Might get a little flicker here and there, but you know, you just try to pass that off, right? But they're all connected. They're all going to be connected. And people are not going to leave these alone. They're not going to set them aside and go, okay, I can live life without that. Because you almost cannot live life without one of these. And as you saw in the video, they're talking about connect to my smartwatch. Yeah, every time I see one of those smartwatches, you know, those people don't know that everything about them is being documented and sold. Their heart rate, their steps, where they're at, where they're going, what they're doing. Oh, you like to work out and you program that in your watch? There you go. It's all in there. It's going to be all AI. People just don't realize what's coming. This is what I mean by convenience. People are going to surrender their humanity for three things. Convenience, right? You're just like, oh man, that's so wonderful. Save me so much time, or save me so much money, or save me so much energy, right? Those are three things people trying to get more of. Time, money, and energy, right? You know, it's kind of like the old, yeah, do a bump so I can work more, so I make more money, so I can buy more Coke, so I can do another bump, so I can work more, so I can make more money. So that cycle, right? But anyway, yeah, it's a business model of these televisions to spy on you. So your televisions are spying on you. All your devices are spying on you. They are just straight sending this information to each other. Whenever you see any one of these companies do a joint venture, a merger, it's just more of the homogenous organism being created, where a competitor or rival is now, you know, something, they're now connected, and it's a big web, and that's the system. And when your government helps perpetuate that system and puts it on full blast, no boundaries, no laws, no regulations. In fact, we're gonna create a task force, a brand new task force of attorneys just to defend it, so we can make this thing go as fast as humanly. Well, oh yeah, we're gonna use artificial intelligence. Okay, as fast as humanly and artificially as we can. Because if you don't remember, as I've said, 24/7, 365, the AI data center, Stargate AI data center in Abilene, Texas, 24/7, 365. Construction never stops. There's no break. 3 shifts running 24 hours. Absolutely. Oh yeah, before I jump to the next one, I don't know if y'all drink these, but I just can't explain my life. I don't know how to explain it, so I just ride with what happens. Okay. Most of you know who follow me. I've been going through some issues with my back where I was in a vehicle that got rear-ended, and I've been in pain for 20 months. I've never not been in pain. And a couple days ago, and I've done everything: biochargers, EE systems, 4 different chiropractors. One of them travels the world doing professional athletes for like MMA events, world judo championships, taekwondo championships, cheerleading stuff. I mean, all over the world. Another one is my personal chiropractor, and then 2 are at the physical therapy. I've done acupuncture, peptides. I forgot that the other day. I've done just anything and everything to get relief. And I was just walking and kind of turning a little bit, twisting to walk upstairs, and something popped. And I was expecting, be in pain, and kind of the pain kind of went away. And I went to the gym yesterday for the first day, day 1, and kind of just got acclimated back to going to the gym for the first time in a long, long time. And had a pretty good little day. And today I went back again, and day 2, and did that again. So I'm starting on my diet, starting to get back in shape. So I'm not going to be eating a half gallon of ice cream a day. And I swear to God, you don't believe me, I probably got a carton around here somewhere. I know there's 2 upstairs. Yes, I will pound a half a gallon of ice cream in one day. I know if you've looked at me, you're like, what? I know. Doesn't make any sense. But yesterday I weighed 203. Today I weighed 197. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been the workout, because it wasn't no grand workout. But yeah, I'm on it. And as you saw in some of that mixture, which I thought, really, they use pea protein in that, pea protein powder in that mixture. Well, guess what? I just, because I'm starting my workout again, so I got some pea protein powder in my 5-pound bag, and filled up my container, and thank God. If you've said any prayers for me, or just thought about me, wanting to get healed, or you sent me some type of remedy or anything, man, thank you very much. God bless you. I don't know what worked, but my back, almost no pain at all. Second day, almost no pain at all. I mean, I can run up the stairs, run down the stairs. Now I just need to strengthen my body up, and especially my core, because I've been inactive for 20 months. So for those of you who did that, man, thank you very much. But look, it even gets even better. So I went to rehab Friday to start my new physical therapy to get functioning, and I went in there and I tell them, I think my back's fixed. I don't know for sure, but I think that little click, whatever it was, fixed it. So they're like, okay, well, blah, 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 I'll come back in next week. And I said, but I still got problems with my neck. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I was going to go in and, at least try to get my neck working. And I'll be damned if, what was it, Friday night? Yeah, Friday night after I went there, I was thinking, man, God, I wish I could just fix my neck, man, my lower back fixed. So I grabbed back of my head, and, and listen, I've been through everything, chiropractic, you name it. I've done it. I've been twisting, turning, and trying to yank my place and get my neck all fixed, and just never could get it fixed. And I just reached back there, just and it popped. No pain. I can't explain it. 48 hours. My neck and my back. No pain. So I swear I live this crazy life. I don't know how to explain it. So anyway, let me do my protein, get that pounded down. Those are pretty handy. I think they're like $2. No. 6 for $5, 6 for $6, something like that. Easy protein. That's what I take to work with me, and pounding those at work. All right, let me get over here to where I did the printed food. Oh yeah, y'all gonna trip out on this. Should I go back to the beginning? Yeah. Let me get over here. Y'all definitely gonna want to see that. That's the only company doing it. Bye.
As probably the most prominent company to come out of CES. What's new at Realbotics this year?
Number one, we have David over here, our new, as he's called him, our new smug robot.
He's got a little bit of an expression on his face. It's like a little bit of like superiority.
The fact that he evokes some emotion in you, I think is a good thing.
Yes. You were talking about AI vision. Can you tell me about how that's baked in this year?
Our robots are a little more autonomous. So the AI takes the information it sees, what it's observing, and makes decisions based on that.
So it's basically trained on a number of human behaviors to be able to sort of interpret and see.
It can recognize human emotions. I'm not sure there's any other company in the world that has tied in hardware to being able to recognize human emotions. Our robots have the motorized wheel platform, more efficiency, but number two, we're the only guys that have humanoid robots that plug into the wall. So if you are an enterprise client, you don't necessarily care about the walking. What you care about is a robot that will work for you all day, all week. You can see here, she follows me, and you can see she's much more fluid than the one we had last year. This will be across all of our robots here next year. They'll be able to talk and recognize you. They'll be able to, read. They'll be able to see colors and, again, recognize emotion. We did this. Sometimes you go to a fashion show, they have like the craziest outfits, and it's really just to get attention. We wanted to show a little bit of creativity and something sci-fi related, to demonstrate that we make robots that look like this, but we can make them look like anything.
Sure.
One of the things that makes us unique is you can customize the appearance, voice, and personality of your robot through us. Again, nobody else is doing that kind of stuff.
So this company, Even Realities, is making a...
Did you hear that? Uh-oh. God dang it. I'm frozen. I know that. But I'm sure you can hear me. But they're telling you that their robots can read emotions. So imagine when law enforcement, military become robotic androids based on AI using this technology. I mean, it's easy just going up against a emotionless robot who can't read your emotions or your facial expressions, furtive movements, as they like to say, your sway, your red glassy eyes, your unsteadiness. Yes, I'm ribbing the Houston Police Department. Never mind. Y'all gonna trip on this.
A lot of noise right now. They make lightweight AR glasses. Let's check them out. Oh, I see it. I do see the screen.
So every sentence in the conversation has been transcribed in real time.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm also seeing the date, the time, the weather outside, health metrics. So
Yes,
this is a certain
just-
widget
just
or
like
screen.
this. For example, for translation, let me just put it into Chinese to English.
Okay. This is about to blow my mind if this works. This is going to be incredible.
可以听到我说话吗?
Can you hear me speaking?
Exactly.
Wow, that is amazing. Can you try it again? Say something else.
你今天过得好吗?
How are you doing today?
Exactly.
Wow, that is really cool.
So first of all, it's a very good pair of glasses. Then it's a very good pair of smart glasses. It's very, very light. It's only 36 grams. They have projector here. Yeah, and
So it's projecting from here onto the screen.
Yeah, and also here we have two microphones as well. Frame, it's made of magnesium. And this temple made of titanium, very flexible and very tough here.
Yep.
So this is a touchpad to collect the function that you want to go with. And in that way, we bring the ring as well. It gives you like easy and discrete control.
Okay.
And the price for the glass itself is $599 US. And for the ring, if you want to buy the ring, it's $249 US.
So actually very close to just a normal piece, normal pair of prescription glasses. Yeah, pretty close. Yeah. So tell me about the anti-gravity A1.
It's the world's first 360 drone. And the package comes with the goggle and also the grip controller.
Together with the 360 footage, it provides a very immersive flying experience, which is very different from the traditional drone. It gives you a feeling that you are actually flying in the sky yourself.
Do you need a license for this device?
No, it's under 250 grams, so it's basically available everywhere. And the retail price starting from 1,600 and all the way to 2,000.
A little pricier than other drones.
Yeah, but we have a goggle, so usually goggle charge a lot. So, and also you can use the goggle itself as a VR goggle.
Okay, okay. I was a little skeptical whether this would work for a blind guy, but it does seem like it does work. Okay, we're about to take off. Yeah, so you can see 360, totally useful for reframing. You just got to get this drone anywhere near what you want to film, and then you're able to reframe. I'm really digging the one-handed control. It seems way easier than the other version. We're back at X-Reel. The company announced a couple new AR glasses releases this year, but what I'm most excited about is some of the new functionality that they're baking into these new frames. So here to talk about those and try it out.
So the X-Reel 1S is really exciting. We just announced it 2 days ago, and here's what it is. It's a mid-gen refresh of our X-Reel 1 that came out a full year ago. But here's what we're doing. We go from 1080p to 1200p. We go from a 50-degree field of view to a 52-degree field of view. All those specs go up, and then the price goes down.
We're able to take your desktop, your Instagram feed. By the time it leaves the computer and works its way through the glasses, it's now being viewed by you in full 3D stereoscopic format.
That's crazy. I'm playing Forza right now, and that's way more 3D. It feels like you're inside the cockpit of the vehicle. I want you to see how embarrassing I am at this game here. Yeah. Ooh! I would say that it's subtle. It doesn't bang you over the head. It's not cartoonish. And how about the Asus ROG X-Reel R1? So that's what I got right here.
Right here. This is the world's first 240 hertz refresh AR glasses. What this does is we take the best of what ROG does and then marry it with the best of what X-Reel does. Big, rich cinematics, lightweight AR glasses. We combine those two superpowers and it's the ROG X-Reel R1. Our new 1S, available now. Our ROG X-Reel glasses, coming soon, Q2. We are focused on what we can bring to customers right now. So that's $450 or $449.
Okay.
We've not yet announced the price and availability for R1, but that is a premium gaming setup.
I see a mysterious cloth. Can you tell me anything about that we got here?
Secrets no, teases yes. We're working on it right now with our partners at Google and Qualcomm.
You know what? I think I'm going to get a sneak peek right now.
Don't do it. Get out of there.
I can see the AI. I see the AI in here. So what do we got here? What's on me?
So this is a wearable ChatGPT. It's like a ChatGPT, but on your neck. You put it on your neck once in the morning, and it will summarize your entire day. It will create action items for you and memories. Let's say you forgot something. Let's say you need to walk a dog. It will remind you of that. People love it. People use it. 300,000 users total. That's kind of it.
So is it listening all the time, or do you have to trigger it?
It listens all the time. You can press a button to ask it a question, but it will listen the entire time.
Talk to me about how this is different than a device like a Plod or a Humane AI pin. How's this different?
Firstly, it's open source. Plod is closed source. You don't know where your data is actually stored. And the second one is this apps marketplace. So we have 2,000 different apps, and you can do whatever you want with them. You can like send Slack events, or you can like create GitHub issues if you're a developer, and many, many more.
So the transcripts that are collected by the Omni are then seamlessly sent to these apps.
Yes, but only with your authorization. So you can install app means you authorize.
Without your authorization. There we go. Come on, camera. I'll be right back. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. I mean, Chat GPT right here, listening to you. 24/7, 365. I mean, recording everything that you do. And then it can play it back to you, and it connects to over 2,000 apps. And it sends that information only if you allow it, just kind of like your television. No, I don't think they would lie to us, would they? I mean, that is ChatGPT. It's an AI. AI doesn't lie. It tells the truth the whole time, never hallucinates, would never blackmail you. Nah. And if you decided, hey, I'm not going to wear it anymore, you better not. I'm telling. I told y'all, folks, y'all just have no idea what the hell is coming. It's going to come so fast. It's going to come so convenient. And everybody's just going to accept it. Good as gold.
Authorized to share your data with them.
Stands at about 62 inches tall. It can reach as high as 7.5 feet.
We're in Boston Dynamics booth at CES 2026, checking out a product that is absolutely blowing up right now online.
My name is Mario Bellini, and I lead the Atlas product management team at Boston Dynamics. So Atlas is our flagship humanoid robot, and we have been working in the lab the last couple of years to productize Atlas using all of the latest AI techniques and deliver the robot that you see here today. For the last couple of years, AI techniques have improved enough that we can start to do manipulation, have the robot touch the world, move objects around.
Now remember, I met Spot, the Boston Dynamic Robo Dog that you just saw briefly running there in the background, the yellow dog. And in that little introduction, I got 3 IBM engineers in a breakout room by myself, talking to me off the record, everything I wanted to know about Spot.
Understand the world the same way that people do.
Can you talk to me about some of the limitations? Because I found them particularly impressive in terms of how much this thing can lift, what conditions it can work in, because we're already at some really impressive stats.
Yeah, so Atlas can lift up to 110 pounds instantaneously and closer to 70 kind of continuously. So we designed this to handle the dull, dirty, dangerous tasks, the things that are really backbreaking for people to do. It can operate for 4 hours on its battery life, swap its own battery so it can work continuously. Atlas can operate in the rain. It's IP67. It can also handle -20C to 40C. Atlas has these joints that can spin all the way around. And so we're inspired by the human form, but not limited by it.
How do you see these units coexisting with human beings in the future?
So we're not trying to make a robot person. We're trying to make this tool that's relatable, that's understandable, and the choice of the head kind of like whimsical and inviting. It's actually a modular head with the sensors and computer on board. So we've learned from the autonomous vehicle industry about how you can really reliably detect people and hazards around the robot, and the robot has that built in.
So this is the ThinkPad Rollable XD concept. It may look similar to what we saw last year, but it was actually completely redesigned, something completely new. So basically you just pause right here for a second, swipe left, and you can see that the monitor rolls up. Same thing in reverse. So you can see this expands from 13.3 inches all the way up to the 16 inches that we see right now.
So the base we saw on the laptop this year was actually from another model. And the idea is to have a modular add-on that users can choose to add on to any laptop of their choosing at a really affordable price.
So we saw the leaks that you saw, but now we're here with the new Legion Pro rollable proof of concept. Basically, it expands from 16 inches to 21.5 inches, all the way up to almost 24 inches wide for a better gaming experience.
Just a heads up, durability-wise, the company says the rollable is good for up to 25,000 roll cycles. Again, just a proof of concept at this point.
So behind me is a company that's gone totally viral because of its robots' crazy fighting moves. Let's check out Engine AI.
This year we bought the 2 model. One.
You heard that caveat, right? In that last one. Proof of concept. It's just a proof of concept. No proof of success. Remember, that should be your standard in 2026. Proof of concept, proof of success.
It's a PM, and this guy is 1.38 meter tall, with 24 degrees of freedom, and the total weight is 40 kilo. So this guy can do very flexible movement. This show is the money keep rolling.
Oh, okay, all right.
In China, people using the robots for shopping mall guided tour for reception, answer the question. Because when you're managing 5,000 different stores, when you have employees, it's hard to train them when you have a new product. And also, robots is very attractive for the customer.
Of course.
Each of the store, they have a robots, more customers they want to come.
I also saw it doing some other moves. Can we see some of the combinations and other stuff too? Yeah. He needs to put a little weight on that back foot. He's getting a little tippy.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's getting a little bit tippy. Yeah. I like the little Iron Man circle in the middle.
That is a touch screen.
Oh, it's a touch screen.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a touch screen.
Okay.
People can program differently.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Who the hell wouldn't want one of those, right? Isn't that a badass little robot? Except it's from China. And there's thousands of those companies in China doing exactly that, producing these crazy ass robots. Because there, guess what? It's a race for number one. And who are they racing against? Oh, shit. Us. The United States, because the plan has been laid. It's the plan for AI to become world dominant. The United States control it all. We won't need a president. We won't need a Congress. We'll have AI, an all-seeing eye. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. I'm not ready. So I know you're not ready. Because this shit is fucking coming. And it's unbelievable. The insanity, stupidity, laziness, dereliction to their own humanity that people have ingested and perversed upon society. It's just appalling. Nobody's paying attention. Oh, wait till I get to the good part. I ain't even got to the good part yet. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on. Y'all thought that's all I had? Come on, man. I got plenty more. I told you that's like a 30-minute video, if I remember correctly. But this is a race. This is world domination. And it's for AI, but robotics is just like they're joined at the hip. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Bacon, lettuce, tomato. You know, you get a BLT. You don't get it like I want a lettuce and bacon, or I want a lettuce and tomato, or I just want a bacon and mayo, right? Sometimes that's good. But anyway, yeah, it's a BLT. Same thing. So in 2026, of course, AI is already here. It's already accepted. People are using it. They're training it every freaking day. And there's going to be more of it. But here comes the invasion of the androids, these cute little robots where, you know, there's only a couple companies in the United States making these things. Just probably a couple, not very many. Not like China. If you go look at China, man, there's dozens of them. And they're making these things for dirt cheap. And you're going to start seeing people with these robots. Just wait. Just wait. They're going to become affordable, and people that got money are going to get them.
That's pretty good. All right. We have seen a lot of footage of new humanoid robots fighting, and we wanted to see for ourselves with one of the most high-profile companies in the business right now, Unitree, and their G1 humanoid robot. So I'm going to try to get in there and see what it's like to fight these things myself. So Unitree has been going absolutely viral. Your stuff is everywhere. What's new this year? What are you demoing?
So this year at CES, we're not only bringing the kickboxing robots, but also some dance moves and kung fu moves. So this year, they're learning a lot of moves from people who like the kickboxing moves. They're actually learned from professional fighters. You want to give it a shot?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's embarrass myself in front of 100 people here. Let's do it. That's hard. It's hard. They're actually like tough. 1, 2, 3. He's out. He's totally out. I was not expecting it. I was expecting it to be this silly little plasticky like child's fight, and it was kind of scary. What happens if somebody builds an army of these things? Tensor, the world's first personal robo-car. Basically, it's the first robo-taxi that the consumer themselves own. Personal robo-car, what does that mean?
Level 4, fully autonomous, hands off, eyes off, car that you can personally own. It sits in your garage. And because it's a personal vehicle, there's a lot more engineering that we had to put into the car so it could be self-cleaning, self-maintaining. All of those sensors have to stay cleaned and functioning.
So here I'm in level 3.
You're in level 3 or below.
Okay.
And if you wanted to go to level 4,
and the yoke disappears.
It does.
And I enter the future. It's trippy. It's all very smooth and quiet. Oh, that's the camera. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So you can hide it if you want privacy.
And is it specifically for like video conferencing? That's
It
a
can be
functionality?
video. Yes, well, the car has 5G. So
Wow. Okay. 5G video conferencing.
we have 11 radar. We have 37 cameras. So cameras everywhere. We have 8 NVIDIA Thor chips in the car for 8,000 TOPS of processing power. Imagine waking up in the morning and going, oh, my car just texted me. We have to leave 30 minutes early because the traffic conditions are so bad. I better get moving.
So it sounds like this integrates pretty seamlessly with like your calendar, your to-do list. So how does it work?
Permission-based, yes, it's permission-based.
The other thing I want to mention that's really cool is that they actually have screens where the lights are that can project messages to pedestrians on the street. So for example, if you're at a light and you want people to know that it's okay to walk behind you, it'll show like the safe to walk pedestrian sign on the actual screens for the lights in the back.
Pebble is back on the scene with 2 products that are absolutely blowing up right now online. The Index 01, which is the cheapest smart ring on the market, and the Round 2, which is an e-ink display round watch.
A ring and a watch. Well, I mean, what's left after that? I don't think we have any earrings, nose rings, lip rings, piercings, and then it just becomes a fucking implant.
This is our update on the original Pebble Time round that we came out with in 2015. So
However,
this is V2, and you can see how different they look. First of all, the screen now takes up the entire front face of the watch. So it's the number one thing that we had questions about. Second is that the battery life is now 2 weeks. Yeah, with the screen on always.
And that screen right there, is that e-ink as well?
It's an e-paper screen. So it's a color e-paper screen. The big thing about this is that it doesn't try to be too much. Like many of the other smartwatches out there, I love them, but they just try to do everything that your phone does. That's not about Pebble. Pebble's about showing you notifications, showing you time, letting you control your music, showing cool watch faces. There's a few apps for it. And the price, it's $199 for this, $225 for this.
How about the Index 01 while we still have you? What's that?
That's a new idea. So I have this problem. I get ideas during the day, or I remember things, and if I don't write them down that second, I'll just forget them. Does this ever happen to you?
Of course, all the time.
Exactly. So I find that I'm always taking out my phone. That's the whole product. It records it. It sends it to your phone. and you have this feed we call the index of all the things that you've remembered. It's perfect for setting reminders, setting alarms. I always like asking people like, hey, what book have you read recently, or what book do you like?
I just recently went through a couple Daniel Woodrell books, like the author of Winter's Bone and Woe to Live On. Those are my most recent.
Yeah. So I would, it's not your fault, but I would probably not have remembered that. There's just all these things happening, but now I've got a memory there, and it's going to add it to my book list to check out. So it's $75. The big thing about this is that the battery life lasts for years. You never have to charge it. So it has memory here in case your phone's not in range, but if your phone's in range, it sends it to your phone as well.
So this is Magitique, a company that can make any pair of glasses smart glasses. So what is Magic?
I know you heard that. It lasts forever. You never have to charge it. And it's constantly sending it to data to your phone.
Right here. This is the entire device. It tracks your eyesight. Right now, he's currently watching a basketball game. Just by looking at a specific player, it's able to tell you the player's name, the stats, all the information that you want to find out about them. That information is customizable. So let's say I only want to say players' names. That's what's going to show up. There's an AI software in here that you're communicating with. We're actually also working on glasses where you can see the information on the glasses. But for the time being, this is the device, and you communicate with it.
The way it works, you said it's compatible with any number of different companies.
Any smart device.
Any smart device.
Yes.
What exactly is in that?
So there is a microphone, there is a camera. Again, you're communicating with it. So the camera is looking at what you're looking at, and it's also they're tracking your eyesight. And the microphone is so that you can communicate back and forth with it.
Now, obviously, other companies like Meta have glasses with the functionality baked into it. What's your sales pitch for why this is a better solution?
All our technology is patented. So whatever we specifically do, no one out there can do. Without talking smack about other companies, but this is all protected. This is just so you can have a home, so you can understand more, so you could search up whatever that you want to learn about it within the comforts of just your eyewear.
So last year, Roborock introduced the Saros Z70, which made a ton of waves because it was that little robot with the arm that could pick up socks. This year, they're introducing the Saros Rover, a robot with legs that can navigate stairs.
There are some robot models out there that exist from other brands that can climb stairs, but this is the first ever that can actually clean as it goes.
How does this thing actually work?
There's sensors and AI that's built into the technology, and that's what allows it to actually detect that it's running into the stairs, and then it can detect the height of the stairs and the width and everything. So it's really, really smart technology that's built into all of our robots.
And is this a wet clean or a carpet clean or both?
It's a vacuum cleaner for now. I believe it should also mop, but for now it can definitely vacuum for now, and that's what we're showcasing today. Essentially, we just want to make life easier for everyone, and obviously if that we can combine the most tech as possible, we definitely would consider pursuing that. Obviously, it's a working model, and that's what we wanted to showcase today. It will be available for the mass market in a year or so.
What's the battery life?
Again, I think that's something that's going to be perfected over time. Sure. It should have comparable battery life as our other robots.
This is LG's Floyd robot assistant. It's getting a lot of hype right now. We just saw a demo in which Floyd interacted with a host to open up a refrigerator, get a drink, all different implications for what LG is calling a zero labor home.
Welcome to Science Fiction Future begins today. We are showing our Floyd robot here, which actually is thinking for itself. I'm kind of forgetful sometimes, and at night it's very important that, windows are locked up and that my temperature is set properly and my doors are locked, and Chloe would take care of that for me automatically. So we have our AI, which we call affectionate intelligence. So all of our appliances will be talking to Chloe, and with Think Q on, it's going to be talking to third-party sensors, so we have that whole home protection, as you were talking about, the whole home scanning.
So what makes the Limex Tron series really...
Did you hear what he said? Just the very, very tail end of that. Home protection, as you were talking about the whole home scanning.
So what makes the Limex Tron series really interesting is that it's multimodal. If you look at the legs, you see that it has interchangeable wheels or feet. It's got tracks on top for a sensor kit or an arm. Essentially, it's a blank slate for the customer.
And this is Tron 1, the world's first multimodal bipedal robot. And here we can say perfect balance capability no matter how you push robots to keep balance. And it's multimodal, so you can just quickly change the foot ends from the solid foot to the wheel mode. So it means that one single robot with 3 different foot ends. And this robot can be used for like security check and pet train, and also as a really perfect research platform.
I see a company representative over there who's actually controlling this demo right now. Is that how this robot is going to work in the future, or will this thing operate autonomously? How is this thing actually controlled?
For now, we use the remote controller to control it move, and in the near future, it can be possible. It can be autonomous mode. It's open API, so you can just customize your all solutions. You can install robot arm. This is one solution, and another two is voice kit. And voice kit, install voice kit, you can just interact with this robot, and can integrate with large language models like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, so to make robots think smarter, can give you a quick response. And also we have a sensor kit. Sensor kit means that there are some accessories like a LiDAR camera and can do autonomous navigation.
This is Project Motoko. There's only 2 of these in the world. It's a new product from Razer. It is America's first AI-enabled headphones.
When I'm working out, when I'm cooking, when I'm at the airport, I always have a headset on. So we feel like it's just going to really naturally enhance a lot of people's already everyday life. This obviously provides over-the-ear privacy and a little bit better audio experience. We have some carbon-able achieve over 30 hours of battery life. I'm going to send you a picture of some of the ingredients that I have. Can you let me know what I'm able to make?
All right, I see you've got some really nice ingredients here. With these, you can easily make a delicious pasta dish. You could do a garlicky bacon and tomato pasta with sauteed greens.
And you say this also has the potential to capture video as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And is this recording and listening all the time, or are you triggering it when you want it to listen?
Great question, either or. So you can either have them always on, always listening if you're gaming or working out, or you can have them off.
Yeah, just for your own personal security. Yeah, it's off. Wink, wink.
You're the only product that I've seen combine these things, so listening device with the camera. I don't think anybody else is doing that.
They haven't. So Razer's at the forefront. We're really excited, and we just feel like the universal compatibility, the universal form factor, it's going to be a game changer.
Where other robotics companies are focused on things like strength and agility, Sharpa is focused on dexterity and precision of movement.
At CES, we revealed our full-body robot for the first time. It's called North, and it's been dealing cards, assembling a windmill, taking Polaroid photos, and playing ping pong, obviously. We're watching our full-body robot, North, assembling a windmill. For a robot to accomplish autonomously, it's very, very hard. It's using different types of material. We have paper, we have plastic. Those materials, they have different rigidity. So, you instinctively adjust your grasp depending on whether the material is deformable or rigid. It has to do the same. And that's where the sense of touch and the tactile sensors that we have in the fingertip really matters. Some objects that it has to manipulate are small. Others are long and thin, and it needs to adapt how he positions his finger to be able to properly interact with those objects. So that's the third level of difficulty. So this booth actually is the one that attracts the most robot experts, because they know how difficult it is to accomplish this task.
Okay, behind me is a super cool product. It's a haptic glove that lets you physically feel objects in VR.
I just pressed a button that caused like a nozzle to shoot out, it looks like steam.
Oh my goodness, wow. It's giving you temperature sensitivities. Wow, and you can actually feel it in the palm of the hand and in the fingertips. You can actually feel a cool sensation.
The Touch Diver is a glove that lets you feel and touch and grasp virtual objects during an extended reality application. You can grasp the object and feel this object in terms of stiffness of the object. So the contact force that you apply on it when you grasp it, you feel it on your fingers, and then you feel the rigidity of the object, but also the material and also the temperature of this object, if it's hot or cold.
Now we're going to trigger the red one.
Go on the fire.
Wow, so now we have an open flame on the red one. Wow, you can actually feel the heat. Yeah, and it's like hot, it's uncomfortable. It's actually uncomfortable. Wow, that's crazy. All right. Okay, so I just put it up to the screw. Yep. Wow, and you feel a little bit of feedback in the finger as the screws are getting drilled here. This is the one that feels the roughest so far. The technology, everything else feels so rad. And even this is incredible. Wow. You're getting a little cool sensation from the stone.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Then there is the white one.
Yeah, and this one says crushed rock. So I'm guessing this one should be a little bit more like jagged, a little bit rougher. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you do feel a smoothness difference. There's a little like bumpiness to this guy right here. I feel like the marble's a little bit cooler too.
There is a cutaneous feedback that is applied on the finger pad, like something that's a platform that compresses your skin during the interaction. And this gives you the feedback about the because what happens when we touch a real object is this. So I perceive the object because it applies a force on me, and this force is replicated by the touch diver on your finger pad, 5 finger pad and the palm too. Then on top of it, I feel the temperature, and we are
the exterior nodes of the central nervous system
able to render 18 to 42 Celsius degrees, so hot and cold sensations. And when I start sliding on it, I feel the textures, the roughness of the material, and the same we can do with the glove.
Talk to me about compatibility with various VR devices.
Any kind of VR headset on the market. We are agnostic, let's say. So now we are using a Meta Quest 3, but we are compatible with all the headsets on the market. And typically we are targeting business application, VR training, for instance, or XR training in general, for industrial scenarios, safety training, medical training, but also marketing activations and entertainment. At the moment, the device is a business device, since also the price is 6,000 euros for the pair of gloves. So it's something that is typically targeting business for this, but the direction is this one. The target market is the gaming, and we are also using AI tools to make this process as fast as possible.
So this new TV proof of concept from TCL can turn any 2D video content into 3D in 8K, and it's actually good.
We use the nanometer lens on the surface of a normal LCD, and we also use the algorithm to change 2D contents into 3D, and you can get the 3D performance at 114 degrees. So you can move free from in front of our TV and get a suitable 3D performance.
Yeah, I would love to see the change of depth if we could do that. Can you show that? As you see the bar up top, it actually allows you to adjust the depth. There's more separation between the subject and the background. And the quality is actually really good. You see other 3D products and it's a little blurry, or there's the color offsets, and there's none of that garbage here. There is no eye tracking here. It works no matter your angle of view too. Yeah, this feels like a big step forward in terms of technology.
The future's so bright. I think I gotta put on some shades. No, I'm kidding. All right. What do I got next? Got the coolest tech there. Yeah, let me whiz through that. Yeah, this one's it. All right. All that neato mosquito AI technology that you just saw, and all the devices it's connected to, and like the last one, the gloves. Remember, they're talking about gaming. Anything that has to do with gaming has an NVIDIA chip in it. NVIDIA, which is the richest company in the world. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, is probably the most powerful man in the world. Even probably more powerful than Trump, yeah. Just because of the technology. So, well, I'm just going to let it speak for itself. Oh yeah, let me get my happy ass out the way.
What if your phone battery charged in seconds instead of hours? What if buildings could cut their carbon emissions in half? What if medical sensors could detect diseases years earlier than they do today? Graphene was supposed to deliver on all of those and more. Since 2004, researchers called it a wonder material. It would revolutionize everything. 20 years later, well, most of those promises fell flat. Graphene earned a reputation of vaporware as those promises vanished, well, into vapor. No matter how many years have passed, the big breakthroughs in graphene were always just a few years away from changing the world. But something's different now. Graphene supercapacitors are powering AI data centers. Graphene-enhanced concrete is being poured at industrial sites. Medical sensors using graphene are hitting the market. The trickle is starting to turn into a flood. So what changed? How did graphene go from miracle material to overhyped curiosity to actually delivering results? And more importantly, how will these breakthroughs actually affect you? I'm Matt Farrell. Welcome to Undecided. This video is...
I'm sorry, I was drinking something when he said that, but no pun intended. Wow. Listen, graphene everywhere. Wow. What's up with that, Floyd? I don't know. Let's go find out, right? Because isn't graphene like in our bodies now? I don't know, allegedly.
It's brought to you by Ground News. This is graphene, but so is this, and this, and this. But first, let me back up for a moment. You might already know about graphene, but what exactly is it in the first place? Graphene was first isolated in 2004. It's a single layer of carbon atoms that are arranged in a flat, hexagonal pattern, just one atom thick. That combination gives graphene incredible properties. Hexagons are tough. Carbon can be tough too. Just think about carbon fiber or diamonds. Put them together and you get something 200 times stronger than steel, all while being only one atom thick. And here's another trick.
Uh-oh. A what thick? A pico. Oh, you're very familiar with nano, right? Nanotechnology? Okay. Now we're talking pico technology. This is what I told you about learning new technologies, and I've been saying this for years, that in the next decade, two words are going to become complementary to your vocabulary, and that would be pico technology and femto technology. If you look them both up, well, they just theoretically are, futuristic, hypothetical technologies that don't exist. But Donald Wilson, Florida, has multiple patents for femto technology from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So, nanotechnologies on the molecular level, pico technologies on the atomic level, femto technologies on the subatomic level. Here, we're on the pico scale. Keep up, folks.
Carbon is very conductive in the right arrangements. Graphite can even beat copper under certain conditions. These hexagonal lattices work like express highways for electrons. Usually defects in a material act like potholes that create a traffic jam because they slow electrons down. Graphene's structure gives electrons a clean path, and the result is superb electrical and thermal conductivity. It gets weirder though. Graphene stays flexible despite being so strong. Even stranger, you can make it from regular graphite. Just grab some Scotch tape and a pencil, and you could technically make graphene at your desk right now. Of course, making useful amounts of high-quality graphene is much trickier, and we'll get to that later. Now let's look at how graphene is already changing industries. Paragraph claims to be the first company mass-producing graphene-based electronic sensors. They're based in the UK and make graphene field effect transistors, or GFETs. These are basically just souped-up versions of the regular FETs that you'll find in tons of devices. Which begs the question, if it ain't broke, why add graphene? Graphene makes better sensors for a few reasons. It's cheap, but we'll get to more of that later. It's tough, and it lasts longer than similar sensors. The electrical conductivity that we talked about earlier, it makes for higher efficiency and less heat loss. Plus, graphene has some quirks that really shine here. You can easily tune its optical characteristics. That means you can tailor it for very specific jobs. One material, lots of different sensor types. And because it's only one atom thick, miniaturization...
Hold on. How big is it? One atom thick. Oh, it's 1 pico. How many nanos is that? 1,000. So, damn, Floyd, don't do it. Damn it. Stop. No. Go back. Go back. Go back, Floyd. Uh-oh. What's that? Damn. What are those? That one that way, that one that way, that one that way. This one over here, there, this one here. Yeah. Took that for a reason. Forget why. That's my buddy Jay. And this is Ken Paxton suing Samsung.
Well, I want you to look up here in the sky, because everything you see in the sky as far as a cloud, those are chemtrails. See a line back there? All these are chemtrails. You know how I know? Because there goes one right there. There's a little one right there. All of that, chemtrails. All this, chemtrails. Every bit of it. I've watched them spray it all fucking day. They're literally poisonous.
So what if in that stuff that they're spraying all day, every day, contains graphene that's only a pico, 1,000 times smaller than a nano? And we know how small nanos are, right? That's smaller than a human hair is wide. So do you think they're sending graphene oxide, self-replicating autonomous robots that are picobots? We already know they have nanobots. I just want you to think about that, because they're telling you right here in this video that graphene is on the pico scale. Remember, nano, pico, femto, subatomic, atomic, molecular. What are we made of? Atoms. Like I said, folks, they're going to seamlessly do this. Did you not hear him say they're doing the roads in graphene? I told you, people are going to seamlessly go into a digital realm and not even realize that they're there. They're laying the infrastructure for it. Why do you think we have digital twins? They can put you in an altered state of reality based on your history. They can re-emulate that, where you can go live the Truman Show artificially, digitally. They could just like park your ass and put you in a suspended state of animation, and you wouldn't know any better. Gunshots. Pow, pow. Oh, no, that's fireworks. All right, let me lose my ass. Get back to this this horror movie.
Innovation is a breeze. It's perfect for things like endoscopy and biosensors. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Graphene has a special relationship with something called the quantum Hall effect. Now stay with me here, gonna get a little heady here for a second. The Hall effect lets us move electrons in fast, predictable patterns, as long as they're moving in a current and a magnetic field. Apply this to bulk material and the electrons bunch up on one side, which creates a transverse voltage, also known as the Hall voltage. Now here's the quantum part. Take that same material and cool it down to 1 degree Kelvin. That's about negative 457 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's where things get really weird. The voltage doesn't scale smoothly anymore. You get distinct jumps and flat plateaus. The extreme cold stops atoms from vibrating as much, and this gives electrons time to cooperate with each other. While it creates some neat effects, extreme cold has its problems as well. Keeping things at 1 degree Kelvin is expensive and energy intensive. That's where graphene comes in because it can tap into this effect at room temperature. These voltage plateaus give graphene sensors incredible precision when compared to other sensors. For medical applications, this mix of sensitivity and certainty could save lives. Paragraph isn't limiting themselves to medical sensors though. They're not even selling finished sensors. Instead, they build the main sensing surface. They grow graphene on a sapphire base and add contacts with a gate electrode. Then customers add whatever receptor they need. Same canvas, different sensors. The result? Paragraph has a potassium ion sensor for healthcare, heavy metal sensors for agricultural runoff, gas sensors for hydrogen industries, and pH sensors for everything from gene therapy to food processing. Let's talk about optical microchips. 2D Photonics is working on them with one of its subsidiaries, Camgraphic, which spun out of the University of Cambridge. Over in Italy, they're about to mass produce optical microchips enhanced with graphene. So what is an optical microchip? Well, it's a specialized circuit that uses light instead of electrical signals to process data. These chips convert electrical signals into optical signals and back again. They pair well with fiber optics, which are getting more and more popular. You can probably guess how graphene helps here. We already talked about a graphene sensor that can detect light, so the same principles apply here. Optical microchips are extremely fast. I can't find specific performance numbers for 2D Photonics chips, but their German competitor Black Semiconductor claims its graphene chips hit 10 petabits per second. Now, a petabit is a quadrillion bits. That's 1,000 terabits. It's absurdly fast. Camgraphic says its chips do all of this while using less energy and costing less. And remember graphene's thermal conductivity? Well, it passively dissipates heat, so no active cooling is needed. Now think about data centers for a second, because cooling is a massive cost. These chips could reduce cooling energy by up to 80%. With AI data centers exploding and jacking up our energy costs, anything that saves power and water matters. There's another bonus. Graphene's durability means these chips work in a much wider temperature range than standard chips. However, these optical microchips are not on store shelves just yet. But 2D Photonics is building a pilot plant outside of Milan. Once it's complete, they claim they can produce 200mm wide graphene-enhanced chips at scale. The cost would compete with standard silicon chips. And there's no timeline yet, and jumping to commercialization is always the hardest part. That said, 2D Photonics secured £25 million, or about $32.6 million in funding from backers like Italy's Sovereign Wealth Fund, Sony, and the NATO Innovation Fund. But it's not just about sensors. Graphene is already boosting energy storage systems. But before I get to that though, let me show you something about how we get the information on these tech advances. Depending on where you read about solar or energy storage innovations, they're either revolutionary breakthroughs that will transform energy, or just another overhyped green tech bubble. When stories mix cutting-edge science, billion-dollar investments, and climate claims, how do you know if you're getting the full picture? That's where today's sponsor, Ground News, comes in. Created by a former NASA engineer, Ground News. Graphene's electrical and thermal properties make it perfect for batteries and capacitors. We've covered companies like Skeleton Technologies before, and their graphene energy storage devices are already on the market. Let's quickly recap how they work at a high level. For batteries, you can add graphene to a lithium battery's anode. The enhanced conductivity and surface area make the anode better at moving charge around. Capacitors are different from batteries because batteries store energy chemically. Batteries are optimized for a higher energy storage instead of extremely high peak power and ultra-fast cycling. Capacitors store energy electrostatically, kind of like rubbing your hair on a balloon. They use two electrically charged plates, one positive, one negative. And unlike batteries, capacitors are optimized for very fast charge and discharge, but with lower storage capacity. Supercapacitors are a hybrid. They use the charged plates of a capacitor, but also use electrodes and a liquid electrolyte like batteries. And those electrodes get covered in a porous conductive material like carbon, which boosts performance. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. Because graphene is
carbon boosts performance? Are human sapiens not carbon-based life forms? Oh, the hell we aren't. Golly, this rodeo just gets better and better. Thanks for bringing me along, folks.
Is conductive and thin, it's often suggested as a carbon replacement in supercapacitors. Surface area limits capacitance. More surface area means better charge storage. And Skeleton Technologies takes this further. They've patented something they call curved graphene. It's a specialized form with a crumpled shape, so think of a ruffled potato chip. The wavy geometry increases usable surface area compared to flat graphene, which enables even higher performance. They claim 1 million charge cycles. Our earlier video covered their super batteries, which bridge the gap between batteries and supercapacitors using curved graphene. And like I already mentioned, they're already on the market, but Skeleton Technologies isn't stopping there. In November 2025, they opened a super battery factory in Varkaus, Finland. This is part of the EU's Just Transition Fund, or JTF. As an investment program for climate-neutral economies, and Skeleton and the EU see these batteries helping data centers become more efficient. They're also working on graphene GPUs. They call them GPUs. They claim the curved graphene reduces AI energy consumption by up to 45%, lowers power requirements by 44%, and boosts the computing performance in flops by 40%. Now, these claims are big. I mean, big enough that I'm a little skeptical because I haven't found third-party verification. But still, anything that reduces AI's resource consumption is, again, worth investigating. Graphene, as we know it today, was born at the University of Manchester, and their researchers are still innovating with it. The University of Manchester's Graphene Engineering Innovation Center is working on a graphene-enhanced concrete, and they call it concretine. I would have gone with graphcrete, but I'm not calling the shots. Using graphene to strengthen concrete makes sense, but that's not the main goal here. The real target is carbon emissions. Cement production contributes more than 7% of global CO2 emissions. So how does graphene help with that? To answer that, let's break down concrete. Not literally. The main ingredient in concrete is cement. The main ingredient in cement is something called clinker. Clinker is made by heating clay and limestone to between 900 and 1500 degrees Celsius, which causes the limestone to decompose into calcium oxide and a ton of carbon dioxide. That's a process called calcination. We could skip the CO2 heavy calcination phase by using plain limestone, but without calcination, the concrete is just too brittle to be useful. This is where graphene comes in. Add super tough graphene to uncalcinated cement and you overcome that fragility while cutting carbon emissions. GEIC claims concretine costs 15 to 20% less than regular concrete, which includes swapping materials, avoiding carbon taxes, and needing fewer repairs over a lifetime. Now, some of that math sounds a little hand-wavy to me, so this will merit closer inspection once the tech matures a little bit, and the tech is maturing. GEIC has done several sidewalk pours. They recently teamed up with Cemex UK to produce concretine at scale. In April of 2025, they poured 15 cubic meters of graphene and micronized lime-enhanced concrete at a Northumbrian wastewater treatment facility. This particular mix allegedly produced 49% less CO2 emissions per cubic meter than traditional concrete. If everything is as good and green as reported, we'll be seeing a lot more of this stuff. But big if though. Graphene is starting to live up to some of the hype from 2004, but we're still in the early phases for most applications. So what's the holdup? Well, we're still working out how to make graphene at scale. Every well-documented manufacturing method has drawbacks. There's an iron triangle here. You know, the type where you have 3 options, but you can only pick 2. You can make a lot of graphene, you can make it cheaply, or you can make it at a high quality. Only 2. Take chemical vapor deposition, or CVD. It's a common production method because it makes a lot of graphene at a reasonable quality. CVD works by depositing a carbon-rich gas onto the metal substrate at high temperatures. The gas decomposes and forms graphene. Problem? The best substrates are pricey copper or nickel. Those high temperatures need tons of energy. Then you have to move the graphene from the substrate to the final device. That's risky because you can get cracks, wrinkles, and defects that ruin the graphene. These costs add up fast and can cancel out graphene's low material cost. It's not viable for commercial applications at scale. Mechanical exfoliation is another example. It's basically the Scotch tape method, but refined. Use adhesives to physically peel graphene layers off of graphite. It produces decent quality graphene, but we haven't figured out how to scale it up. Then there's chemical reduction. This uses chemicals like hydrazine or glucose to strip oxygen from graphite. The positive is that it produces a ton of graphene at a reasonable price, but it messes with the hexagonal structure. So basically, you end up with a lower quality graphene. So I can hear you asking, why does quality matter? Just pump out tons of it cheaply. Unfortunately, quality is critical for most applications that we've talked about today. Defects and impurities like the potholes in the electron superhighway we discussed earlier, they wreck the material's strength and conductivity. The thinner you want your graphene, the harder it gets to control these issues. And here's the frustrating part. The thicker your graphene, the fewer revolutionary qualities it keeps. Now combine all of that with the general lack of consistency and the pricey production materials and techniques we mentioned earlier, and yeah, you can see how mistakes can be both common and expensive. Now there are proprietary techniques that work around this. They allegedly make enough graphene at suitable quality for commercial use. They seem to work. Companies have graphene products on the market, as we've covered in our videos on Skeleton Technologies or the graphene perovskite solar panels. However, these production methods are proprietary. The details are hidden. It's understandable in a competitive market, though. And speaking of which, the graphene market is expected to grow from about $1.2 billion today to $3.58 billion in 2030. You can see why companies want to protect their edge. Still, it pays to be skeptical in emerging tech fields. I remain a little skeptical of huge claims hidden behind the proprietary tag. Normally, I like to place new tech on NASA's technological readiness level. It's a handy scale that NASA uses to assess the technology's maturity, but that's difficult here. We're talking about graphene, but that covers a dizzying array of technologies. Tech already on the market, companies like Skeleton Technologies, that tops probably at a scale of 9. Stuff like Manchester's concretine with just a few successful demos sits closer to maybe a 7. That means it's flight qualified technology, ready for implementation into existing systems. The tech that hasn't hit those milestones is further back. So all these years later, is graphene finally living up to the 2004 hype? It's complicated. Graphene hasn't been implemented into every industry that it was supposed to revolutionize, but it is in commercially available tech right now. Graphene isn't enabling the far out stuff the initial media buzz promised, but the fact that it's actually starting to appear in the world around us, it's a huge step forward. Many wonder materials are not as lucky. But what do you think? Is graphene still a much ado about nothing? Or are you excited about what's to come? Jump in the comments and let me know. You can also check out my extended cut of this video over on Patreon, where I go into an interesting use of graphene as a deep sea coating. It's really kind of wild. And speaking of that, these videos take a team to make, a team of humans.
Sadly, mine don't take a team of humans. Anyway, what do you think about all that? What do you think about how your future looks and everything going smart and AI and robotics? It's coming whether you want it or not. People are going to accept it. They're going to think, oh, yeah, I need that latest new gimmick. You know how people are. Joe Jones next door got it. Guess what? I got to go get it too. Got to have everything the Joneses have. So I want you to think about that. Start thinking about these chemtrails. I think that's a very important issue because it's not being discussed anywhere. Nobody's addressing it. I don't hear any politicians, Ron DeSantis and that kind of just blew in the wind. 49 other states over here going, whoa, we don't see nothing in the air. Y'all see anything in the air? But they could be spraying graphene oxide on us, which could be pico-scale self-replicating self-autonomous bots like nanobots, which you can go look up yourself. They've been using nanobots for I think started in 2015, 2016 in biomedicine. Absolutely. But recognize. Then you have the whole Samsung tying into AM or AI, and they're going to be 8 million devices all connected. These are all nodes. This is all interconnected, all the apps. Okay, every app that's on your phone, every app that's on your computer, every app that's on your television, the routers, all you got to do is go to your settings on your device, go to your settings, go to your connections, open it up. You're going to see all these routers, but you can't access that router unless you got a password, right? Well, the routers are talking. They don't need a password to talk. Just you need a password to get on it. Same thing with Bluetooth. Yes. So have you ever, like, been watching TV and all of a sudden, boom, your TV is asking you to connect to this device, and you're like, I didn't do anything. You hit deny. Well, that's your neighbor. And guess what? They're talking to your TV. They're sending information back and forth. All the time. Your data is worth money. And until we get off these things, man, we're stuck in the matrix. We're here. It's it. AI, all-seeing eye. It's not all-seeing eye. I know. Life gets scary. Gets even scarier when you know as much as I know. God bless everybody. That's all I can say. Every human on the planet, every animal, mammal, insect, reptile, all that. Because we got a rude awakening coming. I think everybody's just going to accept it with open arms. And those of us who are enlightened and awake and, prepared, semi-prepared, or, at least we know it's coming. I think we're just, unless we're like really, really, really hunkered down, we're going to just get caught up in the wash. There'll be some survivors. And you see just this insanity with these ICE protests. I mean, this is just freaking nuts. Yeah, I told y'all this was coming. It's going to get even worse. Okay? Yes, it's going to seem like the Gestapo. I told everybody this. I told everybody because it wasn't just like wetbacks coming across the border anymore. Okay, we're way beyond that, where it's every nationality from every freaking country across the world came in our country. So guess what? If you're not white and you don't look like you're, a Southern black, I don't know, or a Northern black, I don't know the difference. If one lived next door to me, he didn't look any different. But I definitely know the difference between a Nigerian, because they're a little bit darker than most of our American blacks, because American blacks are Native Americans. Yeah. So everybody is suspect, even white folk, because you got Russians, right? If you really look at the SF-181, which is Declaration of Nationality, white folk, Middle East, Northern Africa, of course, Europe. That's the United States government. I didn't make that up. So I said, yeah, it's going to get down to where they're going to be asking for papers. And that's why I told you guys about fusion centers. And if you're not hip to fusion centers, oh yeah, it's coming. All this is going to tie in together. Biometrics, license plate readers, all the cameras, AI, your apps, your devices. There'll be no escape. And if you're just, y'all think y'all got problems now with child support and child custody issues and liens against you, credit card debt. Oh, yeah. And of course, the economy isn't getting any better. Oh yeah, didn't I have some? Oh yeah, I did have some more stuff to add. Okay, yeah, I wasn't done. Yeah, we went through the graphene. Let me get through the graphene. And all right. Oh yeah, I remember I said I was going to close it out a little bit. International political science. Let me get my happy ass out the way already.
I remain deeply concerned that rules of international law have not been respected with regard to the 3 January military action.
That was part of a statement made on behalf of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in an emergency meeting on January 5th, the day Nicolas Maduro and his wife made their first appearance in court in New York.
It's clearly illegal under international law, right? No, full stop, UN Charter, no question there.
Judging by the reaction from some Democrats and foreign leaders, international law is fast becoming a tyrant's best friend. Russia called this an act of armed aggression. Hamas condemned the Maduro arrest as a grave violation of international law and an assault on the sovereignty of an independent state. It would be nice to think we live in a Wilsonian garden where law governs relations among nations. We don't. Today, rogue regimes are on the march, and international law, especially when interpreted by the reigning complex of professors, NGOs, and multilateral bureaucrats, all too often ends up protecting the lawbreakers. The frequent citation concerning Venezuela is Article 2, Section 4 of the UN Charter.
The Charter enshrines the prohibition of the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state.
But dig a little deeper and the analysis becomes muddy. First, is the U.S. intervention a violation of Venezuelan sovereignty when the country's legitimate authority consents to it?
Today, the person who usurped power is no longer in the country and is facing justice.
The day after the operation, Edmundo Gonzalez, who was elected by the Venezuelan people in 2024, spoke in support of the operation. The Maduro regime, which stole the election, objects. The bipartisan U.S. position is that Maduro wasn't the legitimate president. In addressing the UN Security Council meeting on January 5th, Mike Waltz pointed out that more than 50 countries had rejected the legitimacy of Maduro's re-election.
If the UN and the United...
Hold on. Bro, you represent the United States, which is a democracy where the majority rules, right? So you said 50 countries. How many are there in the world? That's what I thought. Hypocrite.
United Nations in this body confers legitimacy on an illegitimate narco-terrorist, and the same treatment in this charter of a democratically elected president or head of state. What kind of organization is this?
Second point, does the intervention qualify as U.S. self-defense against the Venezuelan regime's drug smuggling and use of migration as a weapon?
It is important to point out the United States has never accepted any interpretation that the UN Charter limits the use of force solely to responses to armed attacks.
In 1989, the U.S. also claimed self-defense as grounds to arrest Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega. A Justice Department opinion by Bill Barr, later the Attorney General, found that, quote,
Article 2, Section 4 relates to one of the most fundamentally political questions that faces a nation, when to use force in its international relations.
That isn't for a court unaccountable to the people to decide.
So what China and Russia just learned is that the beacon of liberty and rule of law in the world has now green-lighted snatch and grab operations in Estonia, in Taiwan, wherever Xi and Putin decide they want to go next.
The reaction from politicians who should know better was instantaneous. No, President Xi isn't waiting on a new legal interpretation to seize Taiwan. That's what his military buildup is for. China has ignored the international ruling against its island grabs in the South China Sea, and repeated vetoes by America's adversaries have neutered the UN Security Council.
We're not
Remember, I said don't sleep on Taiwan.
going to allow the Western Hemisphere to be used as a base of operation for our nation's adversaries and competitors and rivals of the United States. You can't turn Venezuela into the operating hub for Iran, for Hezbollah, for gangs, for Cuban intelligence agents, and other malign actors that control that country.
Liberal internationalism is a moral and political failure if it can't distinguish between the aggression of Russia and China to swallow neighboring democracies and a US military action to arrest a lawless dictator in league with the world's worst actors.
Let me ask you about another focus, Greenland.
Look at the chemtrails in the background.
I had the opportunity to speak with President Trump earlier this week. He said he is, quote, very serious about annexing Greenland. In a later interview, he didn't take military options off of the table. And of course, it's an autonomous territory of Denmark, which is a NATO ally. Do you think annexing Greenland would effectively be the end of NATO?
It would be the end of NATO, right? I mean, NATO would have an obligation to defend Greenland. And so query whether we would be at war with Europe, with England, with France. But let's also talk about what's at stake here. The president is spending every single day thinking about invading Greenland, managing the Venezuelan economy, building a ballroom. He is not thinking about the American people at all. This month, premiums, health insurance premiums on 22 million Americans are going up, doubling in some cases. Kids aren't able to eat 3 meals because the Trump administration has slashed food assistance. And so every single day, the president is thinking about Greenland, his ballroom, Venezuela. He's spending no time by things that don't matter to the American people at a moment where the American people are in crisis. That is the underlying reality of a White House that has become out of control.
We thank you for watching, and remember.
Yeah. Beat it. You want me to talk about the RV a little bit? You want me to call my bond folks? Tell you what they got to say? The lunacy. Unbelievable, these people. Still pitching like, the dinar has some type of value when they just put out their budget. It's going to be $1,300 for 2026. So what would all financial institutions base their forecast on? What they have in the budget, $1,300. But yet these yahoos want to tell you it's like this month. And they're literally in the middle, between basically a war, a civil war, because Israel and Iran been going back and forth, as I showed you, for 3 years now, at least. And then we've got a civil war in Iran, and then you've got political instability in Iraq, where there's this power struggle. Banking system still is not up to par, but yet they're good to go. I don't think the United States will allow that to happen when you kind of look at it. That sure does put a lot of wealth and power into the hands of Iraq, al-Sadani. And I don't know what the relationship was with al-Sadani and Trump. But, maybe they're just waiting to get who they want in there before that happens. I don't know. All I know is I don't see it happening anytime soon, just because of what's going on in the Middle East. Hey, listen, do you not think I wanted it to happen yesterday? Yeah, I'm right there in line with you, but I'm just looking at reality. Reality is, if I hang on every day, it's today, it's tomorrow, it's just coming, man, fuck that life. As far as I'm concerned, 2027. Set your calendar, set your watch. I didn't make the shit up. That's what they said. All right, I think I covered everything. Venezuela, yeah, I covered everything. Try to see if I forgot anything because I'm always forgetting something. This is the new news. The Department of Justice opens probe of the Fed bank over Powell's statements on the headquarters, and this is regarding the renovations of the Fed's headquarters in Washington. So I don't know if that's the $2.3 billion cost that he sprung on Trump, or is it the $2.1 billion? Yeah, I know. It's just, right, just a drop in the bucket. A little $0.2 billion. Yeah, so for all of you Q-tards who said, oh, hey, the Fed's going away. Y'all people are retarded. Y'all really are retarded. I mean, y'all got serious issues. Y'all keep just spreading this stupid narrative. I see these people with this same flying that stupid ass flag. They still don't get it. I mean, it's just insane. People are dumb. Amazing. You know, and these and those are the ones that are supposed to be the patriots and the self-governance folks, and they can't even govern themselves. And they do it right in front of your face. And people just like, oh, okay, follow right along. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. Man, I hope you got a little education over here. Most people only hang out for about 3 minutes according to statistics. So if you lasted 2 hours and 30 minutes, God bless you. Thank you very much. I hope I opened your eyes a little bit. Share the video. I'll do some clips and post those as well, some shorts. If you want to reach me, fearlessfloyd@yahoo.com. I didn't even put the banner up. I do have a new website. Let me, this isn't the permanent. This is the, this is the temporary, but you can still go check it out. Right there. thefearlessfloydshow.ct.ws. That's temporary. It will be thefearlessfloydshow.com. Anne has to transfer it over. She just has yet to do that. I don't know when she's going to pull the trigger. She's always busy. She's probably writing another book. But anyway, if you want to go check out the new website, she's got, I don't even know what kind of January sales she's running. I haven't even gone to look, but I know she's doing deals. If you're definitely interested in a softcover book, go over there, check that out. So fearlessfloydshow.ct.ws. I've got a phone call as soon as I bail off this show, but you're more than welcome to call me tomorrow between 9 to 9. I don't have anything going as far as I know. Yeah, I don't have anything going except my gig tomorrow night with Mark Howard, survivor of the plane crash in Louisiana back in 1977 with this, I don't know, you might have heard of them. They're called Leonard Skinner. So, yeah, Mark's going to come on. We're going to talk about, you know, that, his career. I don't know how long we're going to go. He's an old man. That just doesn't click with me, man. I just, like I went to a lunch the other day with a bunch of my junior and senior high school alumni, because we did the whole 6 years together, 7th through 12th grade. And I was the baby there, class of 80. I was the baby. And everybody was like 79, 78, 77, 76, 75. I think might have been a 74 there. So yeah, it was a trip, and you know, everybody's old, and they're, you know, talking about, you know, full chest open, heart surgeries and shit. And I was like, wow, man, I feel so fortunate and so blessed to be healthy and, you know, to get back in the gym. I'm so excited. You don't understand. I'm just on cloud nine. I really am. I'm just so looking forward to this. I'm going to get so dedicated because I really want to go win a bodybuilding contest. I'm competing against myself. Whether I can have that dedication, that sacrifice, discipline, because it's all diet, you know, and trust me when I tell you, I love ice cream. Yeah, I love ice cream. So I'm going to have to cut out all my ice cream until I can build up my cardio to where I need to consume excess calories, and then I'll be able to cheat. But until then, going on a strict diet. And I'm documenting everything, doing videos. So when I start getting my actual workout on, I'll document those. I'll probably create a whole separate channel just for all of that. So if y'all want, y'all can come follow along over there. I want to document it. So anyway, thank you for being here. I hope y'all had a safe and happy weekend. If you're like in professional sports and it's playoff weekend, good luck with your team and all that stuff. Oh yeah, Juan, if you're watching, man, I'm so sorry the Packers lost, because he was talking to his buddy Michael, who's a former Green Bay player that he went and watched. He went up there and watched the Packers and the Bears at Green Bay and up in the skyboxes with the whole, you know, former alumni. And when I was with Juan the other night, they were talking Super Bowl. They were already past the Bears, and then Juan goes, well, we got to get past this weekend, and they didn't make it. So sorry, Juan. That's why I don't follow professional sports. It's, you know, for, you know, like 18, 19 weeks, you're just like hanging on every game, and then you're just like, oh, man, season's over. I'd rather do other things. You do too. Thank you, everybody. Good night.